All right, let's go. XRP is up about 7% for the week, and many people are saying,
"We are back, baby. We are back!"
But it may be a little too early to assume that all your ex-girlfriends are lining up to take you back. We have swung and missed many times before. Someone needs to get that guy a man's ear. During times like this, I think it's best to remain calm.
Give him a ticket! He doesn't have a ticket! Give him a ticket!
Try not to get hit in the face, and always remember,
mention NFTs one more time, and it's guaranteed we're not fucking tonight.
So this is going to be a fun one. We got lots to talk about, including video from the Pope's last days. Elon is cutting back his time at DOGE.
You're cool.
Yeah.
And you, I'm out.
And perhaps you heard about Kanye West. So you know I'm here to answer all the questions that no one else will. Like, is flying on a private jet the best way to fight oligarchy and climate change? Does the fact that Katy Perry once read a Bible verse qualify her to be the next pope? Is crypto still the easiest way to make $5,000 in 30 seconds? Who was the first person to contact Kanye after his new song dropped? We'll check out the new artwork on display at the White House. And can anyone tell me why Hillary without makeup looks like George Soros? So it's time to sit back and have a little fun. I'm going to show you what peak male performance looks like. We start right here with your new SEC chairman, Paul Atkins.
A top priority of my chairmanship will be to provide a firm regulatory foundation for digital assets through a rational, coherent, and principled approach. We will work to ensure that the United States is the best and most secure place in the world to invest and to do business.
And Paul Atkins will make his SEC debut at the Crypto Roundtable discussion happening on April 25th, with rumors swirling that Ripple and XRP may be one of the topics. And if we take a look at this post from eGrad Crypto, XRP, $27, then $120. He says, I'm becoming increasingly convinced that we are mirroring the 2017 cycle, but the timing may be either delayed or accelerated as we approach the end of Wave 3 this summer. Double digits, I believe Wave 4 will unfold over the next 3 years, followed by a bear market and the subsequent cycle reaching triple digits. We also see this from JD. XRP 2-month closes next week. Can the SRSI confirm the 80 cross, the green line? Last time it did this, XRP did a 20x plus within 2 to 3 months before crashing 90%. And I don't know about you, but that news has me more excited than Kanye visiting his cousin's house at 3 a.m.
Well, I need you bad, man.
After JD Vance visited the Pope and he died hours later, many men are now inviting him over to meet their mother-in-law. But I think we can all agree that this would be a better use of his time. And this is an interesting perspective.
We don't articulate as Black women our pain because it's almost like nobody ever gave us permission to do that.
Ah, yes. Everyone knows that Black women are famously known for being too quiet about their complaints. The hypocrisy seems to be growing by the day.
All I'm saying is I don't think it's fair that we renamed the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America. Okay, but you're fine with renaming military bases like Fort Bragg to Fort Liberty. You renamed football teams and the definition of a woman. You're also okay with rebranding syrup and rebranding M&Ms.
The best way you can show that you waited too long and that you get it and that you are becoming more responsive to where we are on interest rates is actually go ahead and do a nice big rate cut. We understand that if the New York Stock Exchange, if interest rates in the United States are subject to a president who just wants to wave his magic wand, this doesn't distinguish us then from any other two-bit dictatorship around the world.
And this is something you may want to keep an eye on. You can see right here 2 massive shorts on Bitcoin. Both whales open short at 92,469 and 92,664. One whale, likely the same owner, just placed $74.5 million in shorts with 6x leverage. Liquidation levels at 107,220 and 107,160. And no, it wasn't me, but generally people don't risk close to $75 million without knowing something. All right, let's take a look at some other top headlines.
So there's a couple of coins that I really enjoy right now. XRP is really important. Cardano and ADA is another one that's very important. I don't think a lot of people really even know about. Solana is a very important coin with the NFTs, lower cost ways of transacting and doing things. But ultimately, the world is moving towards real world tokenized assets. And so whether we're talking gold, silver, real estate, mortgages, this is where everything's moving right now. And so if we look at this more as the algorithms of the future, as opposed to trying to look at this as, is this the next form of money, then I think that we're going to have a better understanding where we are.
They emptied out insane asylums into our country. We're getting them out, and a judge can't say, no, you have to have a trial. The trial's going to take 2 years, and no, we're going to have a very dangerous country if we're not allowed to do what we're entitled to do.
The Democratic Party has unveiled a new candidate for the 2028 election, introducing YAOC.
In response to President Trump's tariff announcements, more than 100 countries have approached us, wanting to help rebalance global trade. These countries have responded openly and positively to the president's actions to create a more balanced international system. We are engaged in meaningful discussions and look forward to talking with others.
We're going to be able to substantially lower taxes when this is finished.
After months of hiding, Hawk Tuah Girl has finally resurfaced.
You gotta give him that Hawk Tuah and spit on that thing.
This woman wouldn't know the truth if it hit her in the face.
Do you regret saying that President Biden had a mental acuity? He had a sharpness to him. You said that up until July of last year.
I said what I believe to be true.
And you think he was as sharp as you?
He was sharp. He was on his feet. I saw him. Live event. I had meetings with him a couple of times.
Senator, on his feet is not praise. He can speak in sentences is not praise.
All right. Fair enough.
Hennepin County Attorney Mary Moriarty lets anti-Tesla terrorists off the hook. Dylan Adams, an unhinged Minneapolis state employee, was caught on video keying 7 Teslas, causing more than $20,000 in damage. I'm not sure if I'm more shocked over this news or why this dude looks so much like Jane Lynch. El Salvador releases a new tourism commercial.
Welcome to El Salvador, home to breathtaking sunsets, world-class surf breaks, and gangbanger Kilmer Abrego Garcia. El Salvador is the destination for Democrats seeking the thrill of bringing violent criminal illegal aliens back to America. Come witness Trump derangement syndrome in its purest form. From Chris Van Hollen to Cory Booker. You may even see John Ossoff. So what are you waiting for, Senate Democrats? Join your colleagues and step into the rhythm of rescue today.
Mr. President, has there been any direct contact between the U.S. and China trade at all?
Yeah, of course.
Yes. And
every day.
Liberal leaders discuss expanding the acronym to LGBTQ, MS-13.
Yes, I want them to be woke now. You don't think we're headed into a recession in your plans at this point?
You know, there's no signs that we see at this point that we're in or close to a recession.
The Trump coin surges as much as 65% after President Trump announces that the top 220 holders will get to have dinner with him. And rumors are now swirling that the top 5 holders will actually get to set new tariffs on China. A Southern California mayor, Rex Paris, says that he wants to give homeless people free fentanyl.
What I want to do is give them free fentanyl. I mean, that's what I want to do.
Do what?
I want to give them free fentanyl.
I can't understand what you're saying. You wanted to get with them what?
I want to give them all the fentanyl they want. That's what I want.
He went on to say, it's not like they'll be able to snort it out of the ass of a prostitute like me. The Chicago Mercantile Exchange Group, which is the world's largest financial derivative exchange, will launch XRP future trading on May 19th. And with all the talk about Kanye and the Pope, it feels like everyone overlooked the new trailer for King Kong. All right, let's take a quick look at the target price levels for both XRP and Bitcoin. On the 2-week scale, the hidden bullish divergence remains as XRP closed the week above the $2.09 level. However, on the weekly scale, the divergence has been negated. The stochastic RSI is still below the 20 level on the weekly scale, and the RSI is still below the moving average, which is this yellow line right here. If we continue to stay below this 20 level on the SRSI, it just increases the likelihood that XRP will drop into this orange fib retracement box, which in my opinion would be a great spot to dollar cost average or add to your position. When we look over here at Bitcoin, Bitcoin currently has the potential hidden bullish divergence on both the RSI and SRSI comparing to the price. The SRSI also looks to have the potential to have a close above this 20 level. You can see that the blue line is currently above the 20. However, the orange line is still below. Once we see both lines cross above 20 and establish the level above the 20 level for the next couple of weeks, you would expect an explosion in price for BTC and altcoins as well. So you know I'll be watching and I'll keep you updated with any new information. Remember, mice die in mouse traps because they don't understand why the cheese is free. The same thing happens with socialism. Feel free to tell your kids that this is Kanye West and his cousin. Fossil fuels are a necessary component for human flourishing, but it may be time to ban these guys. Is it really a good idea to let kids decide what is right? And if you have one vice, let it be this one. And if you have a couple more minutes, you may also like this video right here, an urgent message from Ripple about the current price of XRP. Until the next time, be safe.